LBO Model Basics for Beginners. Step-by-step walkthrough. Hello and welcome to Candimentor. Today we're taking the mystery out of the LBO model, the core tool every private equity analyst learns on day one. We'll build it slowly, step by step, so you understand not just what the numbers are, but why each number matters. By the end, the flow from entry price, leverage, cash flow, debt paydown, exit, IRR will feel natural and logical. What an LBO is, a leveraged buyout, is a simple idea with powerful impact. You buy a company using a mix of debt and equity. You let the company's own future cash flows pay down that debt over time. And you eventually sell the company at a higher value, capturing strong returns. The engine behind the whole structure is leverage, because borrowing half or more of the purchase price amplifies equity returns. When an LBO works, not every business fits the LBO model. You need predictable cash flows. You need healthy margins and strong cash conversion. You need modest capital expenditure and manageable working capital swings. And you need enough stability to support high leverage without default risk. Core inputs of a simple LBO. When you build the model, you begin with the essentials. You need entry EBITDA. You need the entry purchase multiple. You need the debt percentage and interest rate. You need an EBITDA growth assumption each year. You need an exit multiple, usually equal to the entry multiple for beginners. And you need basic operating cash flow assumptions. Step 1. Calculate purchase price. Start by converting EBITDA into enterprise value. If EBITDA is 100 crore and the entry multiple is 10 times, the entry value becomes 1,000 crore. This number matters because every capital structure decision flows from it. Step 2. Choose leverage mix. Next, decide how much debt the deal can support. Most LBO structures use 40 to 70% debt. For a beginner case, assume 50%. That gives 500 crore of debt and 500 crore of equity. This split controls both risk and upside. Step 3. Build 5-year EBITDA forecast project, EBITDA forward, using a simple growth rate. At 5% growth, year 1 becomes 105. Year 2 becomes 110.25. Year 3 becomes 115.76. Year 4 becomes 121.55. Year 5 becomes roughly 127.63. This forecast drives exit value, so clarity here is key. Step 4. Estimate operating cash flow. Now estimate cash flow available to repay debt. A simplified formula works for beginner models. Free cash flow equals EBITDA minus interest, minus tax, minus capital expenditure, minus working capital changes. For a starter model, assume interest at 10% of opening debt. Assume CapEx roughly equals depreciation, and ignore taxes to keep the math clean. Step 5. Debt paydown mechanics. Use free cash flow to reduce debt each year. For example, in year 1, 105 of EBITDA minus 50 of interest gives roughly 55 of cash. Apply that toward the debt, reducing 500 to about 445. As debt falls, interest falls, and cash available for paydown grows faster. This deleveraging effect is a major return driver. Step 6. Calculate exit value. At exit, value the company again using the exit multiple. If you exit at 10 times EBITDA, and EBITDA in year 5 is 127.63, the exit enterprise value becomes about 1,276 crore. Step 7. Exit equity value. Now subtract the remaining debt. If debt has dropped to around 225 crore, exit equity becomes roughly 1,051 crore. This number is the anchor for return calculations. Step 8. MOIC, multiple on invested capital. Calculate MOIC by dividing exit equity by initial equity. 1,051 divided by 500 gives roughly 2.1 times. This is a solid outcome over 5 years. Step 9. IRR calculation, approx. You can estimate IRR quickly using a rule of thumb. A 2 times return in 5 years equals about 15% IRR. At 2.1 times, the IRR rises to roughly 16 to 17%. Interviewers care more about logic than perfect precision. Simple Excel layout, beginner template. You can build this model in 4 simple blocks. Block A, inputs, EBITDA, multiples, debt percent, interest rate, and growth. Block B, operating model, EBITDA projection, interest schedule, and free cash flow. Block C, debt schedule, opening debt minus free cash flow equals closing debt. Block D, exit sheet, exit enterprise value, exit equity, MOIC, and IRR. A clean layout makes the logic easy to defend in an interview. Whiteboard LBO flow, interview style. Interviewers love when you can summarize the LBO in 7 neat steps. Entry price, debt versus equity split, EBITDA growth, cash flow to debt paydown, exit multiple and exit value, exit equity, MOIC and IRR. This structure shows you understand the full story. End. Sensitivity levers, interviewers always ask. After the base case, interviewers test your ability to flex assumptions. What if EBITDA grows slower or faster? What if interest rates rise? What if the exit multiple compresses or expands? What if CapEx increases or working capital absorbs more cash? These questions test genuine investment thinking. Impact of higher leverage. More leverage boosts returns if the company performs. But more leverage also increases risk because cash flow pressure becomes intense. A balanced answer impresses interviewers every time. Impact of multiple expansion. If the exit multiple rises, returns jump. But this comes from market conditions, not investor skill. A good candidate acknowledges that clearly. End. What PE firms actually look for in LBO? They look for margin improvement opportunities, reliable revenue, and strong cash conversion. They also look for operational levers the fund can pull: pricing, costs, and growth initiatives. Red flags in LBO targets. Watch for high CapEx requirements. Watch for volatile cash flows or heavy cyclicality. Watch for customer concentration. These issues can break the LBO model quickly. End. Behavioral component. How did you approach this? A strong answer is simple. You explain your structure, your assumptions, and your logic. You stay conservative and transparent, and you avoid over-engineering the model. Quick case summary. What candidates should say. Here's the clean, interview-ready recap. Entry valuation, 100 EBITDA times 10 equals 1,000. Debt equals 500. EBITDA grows to roughly 128. Exit enterprise value becomes 1,276. Debt falls to around 225. Exit equity becomes roughly 1,051. MOIC around 2.1. IRR around 16 to 17%. End. Bonus. What improves IRR the most? Higher EBITDA growth, margin expansion, lower entry price, lower borrowing cost, higher exit multiple. Be ready to defend each lever in an interview. Off. Bonus. Multiple compression scenario. If the exit multiple drops from 10 times to 8 times, exit value collapses from 1,276 to roughly 1,021. Equity shrinks sharply, and IRR falls hard. This is a great way to show downside awareness. So, on. Bonus. Add-on acquisitions. Bolt-on deals change the base case. They increase scale, drive higher EBITDA, and often use additional debt. Upside rises, but so does risk. End. Closing summary. The LBO model is ultimately a story. How much you pay, how much you borrow, how much cash the business throws off, how fast you reduce debt, and how much equity value remains at exit. Even a simple framework can explain returns with surprising clarity. Once you understand these basics, every private equity interview becomes easier. Final takeaway. An LBO model is less about Excel and more about investor thinking. If you can explain how a business grows, pays down debt, and creates equity value, you already speak the language of private equity.